Hi guys, so I'm going to do a tag today, and this is the why do you wear makeup tag. It's kind of like floating around YouTube at the moment, so I thought it looked quite cool. You're probably noticing that I'm wearing the same thing as I was in my last video. I do change, I just film this on the same day, so although you'll see them a week apart, probably I'd film them together. But yes, so this is going to be kind of more of a talky, sort of rambly video, so if you don't want to watch me sort of talk at the camera for the next 10 minutes, then, you know, feel free to turn off, that's fine. So yeah, this kind of tag has 4 questions, and it's kind of, I thought it was quite interesting because it's more about, you know, when you started liking makeup and a bit more in depth than just, I like this because I do, stuff like that. So yeah, the first question is, when did you begin loving makeup? And I thought about this, and to me, probably, well, to myself and to people that probably, you know me and see me, they think of me as someone who wears, you know, a lot of makeup and likes makeup, not necessarily, you know, because I have to, but I just like the look it gives and, you know, having fun with makeup and wearing different colours and things. But I've really only actually been wearing makeup for like the last, how old am I? Like 4 years or so, really. Is that right? Yeah, bit of maths. Yeah, because throughout the whole secondary school, so that's sort of like 11 to 16, I think, I just didn't wear makeup at all. I was terrified of it. Most of my friends started wearing it when they were around about like 14, 15, but I didn't really have the courage to do it. I suppose I was quite shy in school, so I thought if I came in one day with a full face of makeup, everyone would be like, whoa, what are you doing? Who are you? Sort of thing. I think back then as well, it just was so much harder for kind of like, you know, younger generation, like starting out trying to use makeup and stuff. There wasn't YouTube, and there weren't all these like really helpful gurus and tutorials and things like describing like all the products and showing you what they look like and how to use them. So, you know, there was a few makeup disasters back in the day in school. A lot of my friends, I'm afraid to say, had the orange face, the white neck, you know, the line. It wasn't good, but, you know, I'm sure everyone has experienced that sometime. It's not your fault. People just, you know, trying things out to begin with. But yeah, so I was just so afraid, and even walking up to like the Maybelline stands and Rimmel, stuff like that, I looked at it all and I wanted it so badly, but I just shied away from it because I didn't know what to do. But I think eventually, I was about to go to college, or it might have been like halfway through my last year of secondary school. So when I was around about 15, 16, I just like, right, I need to wear some makeup now. I need it on my face. I didn't have the best skin back then, so I had sort of like acne, like, you know, teenage spots and things, so I just thought, I'm gonna go and buy something. So I went to town on my own on the bus, I remember vividly, and I went right up to Maybelline and got myself a Dream Matte Mousse. I'm sure everyone, 50% of the population must have bought a Dream Matte Mousse sometime in their life. It might have even been your first makeup product like it was for me. I think that's just what everyone wore at the time, and you know I have my reservations about that foundation. It's not my favourite. I do detest it actually nowadays, but yeah, I bought that, and I bought obviously the completely wrong colour. I don't even think I looked at the testers, I just picked one up and ran away. Obviously I paid for it, didn't just steal it. But yeah, I think it was something like sand, and already that colour just sounds wrong for my pale skin. I believe it or not, I was actually even paler when I was younger, which I don't know if that's possible, but I was. So yeah, and I put it on one day and I was all excited. I went to school, and in my school there was these buildings and they all had sort of like mirrored windows, and I just looked at myself one day and I thought, what's on your face? It was really, really bad. But yeah, so from that I just sort of kind of got into it a little bit more, and I was trying to remember like my first makeup products, and obviously it was the Dream Matte Mousse. This was back in the simpler day when you had like one of everything, so like one foundation, one blusher, one lipstick, and that was about it. So I had the Dream Matte Mousse foundation, and I thought, kind of like started exploring colour a little bit more, so then I went for a blusher, and it was the Natural Collection, I think it was called like Pink Cloud or something, really like cheap and cheerful. I actually still quite like that blusher. I probably still got it somewhere, which is bad, but yeah, so then I had a blusher, foundation, and I think it was just mascara. I hadn't quite got into like wearing eyeshadows or anything. And yeah, it was Max Factor mascara, believe it or not. The mascaras that I still love today, and I've always gone back to, was the first ever one I bought. So I think it was the gold one, you know, the Masterpiece Max, the little, I think at the time I bought it because it was the first one that they brought out with like a plastic brush. I think that was the sort of time, about like 4 or 5 years ago, when all the plastic brushes really started like coming into fashion. So I bought that, yeah, and I had my little mascara and my blusher and my foundation. And, you know, it just made me feel really good about myself. Although, you know, I think it's the kind of the question of, you know, do people really need makeup at that age? Should you be wearing it? But I think, you know, it's part of, not necessarily, you know, you're just wearing it for the sake of it, but like part of a style, or, you know, you just want to feel good about yourself. And that's when I just really started loving it. So coming into college, is when I really kind of like exploded buying everything. So I used to get the bus to college, and it sort of like stopped in the middle of town, like the big shopping centre town. So I'd have like, what were they called? When you don't have a lesson, like a gap, like an hour or so gap in the day, and like I'd go off to town and I'd spend like 2 hours in Boots just like playing with everything, buying everything with like a limited amount of money I had, like paper round and pocket money and stuff like that. Yeah, and then I just sort of like built up my stuff. I didn't wear a lot. One of the things I bought was eyeliner, and that was the first time I started wearing eyeliner. As you probably know, I wear eyeliner all the time, even though I'm not wearing it at the moment, but yeah, one off. So yeah, I bought an eyeliner, and I think that's when I really started like this is for me, I need all this stuff, and I love buying it. So yeah, and then it just sort of exploded from there, and I got a job, which some of you will know, like in a beauty hall, during college, and then after college I went like full-time and everything. But obviously like being around makeup all day doesn't help your addiction if you have one like I do. So that's probably, I think if I hadn't necessarily worked there, I may not be as obsessed with makeup as I am now. But yeah, I'm all around makeup and skincare and everything all day, so I just can't help myself. Yeah, so I'd really say then, like in the last, from when I was about 16 or 17, so like 3 or 4 years ago, is when I really started loving makeup. So no, not that long ago. I never really had like a like passion for it when I was younger. I didn't care, I'd rather like be climbing a tree or something, I don't know. So the second question is, how do you feel without makeup? And like I said before, I don't feel like I need it, although obviously there are times when, you know, you need a bit of foundation, a bit of concealer to cover things up. But I just don't feel like myself. I don't feel like the way I mean, the clothes I wear and the way I dress, if I have like a blank face, I just don't think it sort of looks right. So I like to kind of like, I don't know, even like incorporate my style into my makeup. So like the eyeliner and blusher and things like that, just because it just makes me feel more like me and more like how I want to look. I mean, I'm fine like on holiday. I just went on holiday and I barely wore any makeup, and it's hard if you're so used to wearing a full face of makeup every day, to just go with nothing. And I think it's more of a, not necessarily that you feel, oh I look awful, it's more like just the shock, I think, and people don't realise that, of looking so different. But I mean, I haven't worn eyeliner now for like, what, a week? For me that is a long time. So I'm sort of like kind of, I'm actually really trying to sort of wear a little bit less makeup now. But I still don't feel myself, like if I'm going out or if I'm going somewhere and know I want to look just good, you know, I will wear my kind of like full eyeliner, foundation, everything. But yeah, so I don't feel awful without it. I'm getting better, but I still like to wear it, so yeah. Okay, so question number 3 is, what do you like about makeup? I think I kind of answered that already. What do I like about makeup? Everything. Can I say that? Not really. The thing I like about makeup, working with makeup as I do a lot of makeovers and things all day. I put makeup on people that like would never have worn it before, and the thing I like most is when they kind of look in the mirror and say, oh my god, I didn't know I could ever look like that. And it's just such a, I don't know, it's a really happy feeling that it gives you. And I think for all people, although, you know, you shouldn't have to wear makeup to feel good, you know, it's about how feeling good inside. I do think just like a little bit of makeup, a bit of mascara, a tiny bit of lipstick, just makes you feel better. And I love the kind of power that the makeup has, that it can just, you know, really perk up someone's day, or really just, you know, change the way they feel about themselves, you know, make them love themselves a little bit more. So that's probably the main thing I like about makeup, just what it can do to people's like self-esteem, things like that. And also I just love playing with it as well, I suppose. Like, you know, there's so many thousands of different things you can do. I mean, like looks and things, like just flicking through a magazine, you can find something that's completely inspiring to you and just makes you want to play with makeup and do it all on yourself. So I love what it can, how it can make you feel, and you know, how inspiring it can be. Last question, Holy Grail items. I have 3 here, 3 Holy Grail items. Now these aren't very exciting, but they're just things I probably couldn't live without. So number 1, concealer. Not necessarily this concealer in particular, just concealer in general, but you know, this is a good one. I'm sure you've guessed what this is already, even though the label is rubbed off. It's the Collection 2000 Lasting Perfection Concealer, and I just found this is just the best thing. I've never found a concealer that is as good as this one. Just covers, you know, everything you want it to cover. It's a really good colour for me, you know, personally, and just lasts all day without creasing or anything, so I just couldn't really be without that. You know when you have like a Holy Grail product when you just grab for it without even thinking about it. So yeah. The second product is the Clinique Bottom Lash Mascara. Now I was looking through my makeup products and I didn't like immediately see this and think, yes, that is a Holy Grail product, but I thought about it and I don't think I could live without this. I have a real problem with mascara, like it just, every single one smudges on me, it's really, really bad. I get quite like oily eyelids, I think, for some reason, and mascara just goes everywhere. This is the only one I found that doesn't do that. It just literally stays put all day. I don't even get like the tiniest bit of smudging at all with this. It just lasts. Whereas even just with a normal mascara, you know, something that necessarily wouldn't smudge on someone else just makes me look awful, makes me look tired, like I've got a black eye or something. So this I just really couldn't like survive without, I don't think. If I didn't have this I wouldn't wear mascara because it just wouldn't be worth it. It would just make me look awful. So yeah, the Clinique Bottom Lash Mascara, couldn't be without it. And it's got such a cute wand, so tiny. And then last of all, I'm sure you've probably guessed this already, it's the Collection 2000 Extreme 24 Hour Felt Tip Liner. This is my go-to eyeliner, and like I say, eyeliner is my thing, I cannot be without it. And it's just, you know, felt tip pen eyeliner, and really the best one I've ever found actually. You know, it goes on really easily, it's so simple to use, like it's just a felt tip pen, you're just basically drawing a line. And yeah, it just lasts all day, it's really black, really intense, I just couldn't be without it. Although I'm trying to not wear eyeliner as much, this is just, I have 4 of these in my drawer, I just keep them just in case I discontinue it because it's so good and I've never found anything as good as that. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that video, guys. It's a bit long, a bit rambly, but you know, do this tag as well. I tag everyone to do this because I think it's just so interesting hearing everyone's like different stories of why they like makeup and when they started wearing it to begin with. So yeah, I'll see you later, guys. Bye. You know, I like this product because of this and that. It's more kind of like, Darren's just come home and ruined this video.